Okay, look, we do not have any idea what this show is going to contain today. All we know is that it's Monday, it's NFL free agent frenzy, and the whole league has set the entire freaking world on fire, apparently. So do us a favor, kick back, relax, because episode number 34 of 609 Sports Talk, it starts right now. Yes, let the madness begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of 609 Sports Talk, live here on Facebook and, of course, over on YouTube. And, of course, you can catch us every Wednesday on Spotify as well. We are coming to you guys live from Hamilton, New Jersey. And, of course, this is the show that unites fans, ignites debate, and gives me a freaking headache on NFL free agency frenzy because I got a migraine. It has been total madness the whole day. And as always, we are your hosts, Sam Nelson, Tyler Adams. When did this gentleman get under my tree?
Snuck him in. Snuck him in during the intro.
I see that. And, of course, last second special guest from the Dueling Aces, Mr. George G3. How are you, buddy?
I've got the meds right here for the migraine, by the way, because mine's been just as bad, and I've had to try to talk Bryce off the ledge, about his Seahawks falling totally apart. So,
I said to Sam earlier, they're on the former Jets quarterbacks. They seem to have good records with. Geno had a career resurrection there. Darnold kind of had his in Minnesota, but now going to there, he might just be the best quarterback in the NFL next year.
Gentlemen,
you couldn't say it with a straight face, Tyler. You couldn't say it if you said it with a straight face, it would have been different.
We got breaking news.
Yeah, big time.
Oh no, it's more breaking news. Former 49ers cornerback Charvarius Ward is agreeing to a 3-year, up to $60 million deal with the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
Colts are revamping that secondary a little. Cam Bynum earlier this afternoon, Ward here. George, you just pick great times to come on the show. You pick perfect times. Niners lose a corner.
Bashing the Niners left, right, and center. Well, this Winston rumor just really set me off. I was like, "What?"
If Adam thought the Winston thing last year was bad, the funny thing was he cracked a joke with me about after we traded for Kenny Pickett, and I told him what really is going to be funny is if this time next year he's a Cleveland Brown. And now I'm sitting here on March 10th, 2025. I think I may have to move out of the country because he will. Now he's going to try to find me. Yes. Now Adam has got a major issue with me.
Yeah, Adam is going to be looking for you big time. Right now, there are multiple health watches around Cleveland, just watching to make sure that people stay away from the 480 bridge, because we think it may collapse with all the people looking to jump off of it.
Oh my God.
Because they just cannot believe, and it looks like it would be, that Kenny Pickett would be the 41st starting Cleveland Brown at the beginning of the season.
All right, surely they're not planning on starting Kenny Pickett.
Well, don't call him Shirley unless you're going to draft him. I know whoever they draft would.
I get it's the Cleveland Browns. Anything's possible. But, on the bright side, at least Myles Garrett decided to stay.
That that jaw dropped a lot of people too. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I guess money does talk.
Money does talk. It does.
Oh, it does a lot more than talk.
Yeah.
Zolt,
It doesn't
Zolt
doesn't
is
talk.
going to run with this. Adam will never come back on air. Like he's going to have a hard time going on air
Oh man.
next weekend, even on Redline. He's going to have a hard time because
Oh,
Dave
he
and
will.
Tipper will just being the Steeler fans they are. They're just going to harass. He may not even show up next week. Adam may never show up on media again, ever.
Adam has given up on everything that has to do with media or radio or podcast or vidcast or anything in between. He has given up on it.
He will hide until Jameis Winston's brought back to be the starting quarterback.
He may not watch a down of football next year.
He may ban the Cleveland Browns like I banned baseball practically. He may just have to do it. It's like the Browns will definitely be looking at a quarterback in the draft. I mean, I thought it was strange. I mean, yes, it's pretty much, you're going to get rid of DTR. It's like, of course, because it's not worth the pennies you pinched for him to begin with. But then all you did was just trade garbage for, you basically traded a lawn garbage bag for a kitchen garbage bag. Still garbage.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I don't know where. I mean, George, I'm not sure how long you want to be on with us. You're welcome to stay on as long as you'd like. I don't know where to start any of this. I guess we can start in Cleveland, and we don't have to talk Kenny Pickett. I don't want to make Browns fans depressed. I am a man of the people. Let's talk the positivity. I don't think.
I mean, they know that Chubb is on his way out the door. You know, now you've got this debacle. I mean, personally for me, 49ers wise, I saw something pretty cool that, made our fans, just a little more, caring about our players. And that's Mr. McCaffrey is expecting his firstborn child this year. So congratulations to CMC.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
All right, CMC.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm also, and I'm basically just asking this for Tyler. I'm okay with just letting the chat run this whole show. Yeah. Because this is going to be madness all day. We're going to have news breaking as we're talking. So I don't know where we want to even try to begin a conversation. But right now, we got to catch up on these comments. Like
Let's start with Myles Garrett. Anthony says he's got some beef with him.
He does have some beef with Myles Garrett. And then Zolt said, happy almost free agency. He also said he thought he would be getting out his Pickett jersey. Oh, this is grand. Zolt also went on to say it was a good day, and then Cleveland traded for Kenny Pickett. It's a great day.
Yep.
And Zolt also got DJ Reed, so it's actually a really great day.
Yeah, Lions fans are thrilled.
Zolt said it would have been a bad if they signed him, but they even gave up something. Anthony said, Seahawks scratching my head. You cut Lockett, trade DK. Now what's the point in Sam Darnold? This is the new regime's vision. That's how I don't know. That's all I can say for it.
Two young receivers in Smith and Bobo. I mean, okay, I get it. You want to reboot? All right.
Yeah, they need to add one veteran back in there, though.
Right.
Where else are we rolling here? Zolt said, no joke. I think this is Cleveland believing someone jumped them for Cam Ward and they don't want Sanders. They might be placeholder. This may be a placeholder for a year. I mean, maybe.
Tennessee wants 4 number ones for that spot.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Good luck.
4 number ones.
Good luck. 4 number ones for that spot. Good luck.
And then, so we can we'll get back on track with Myles Garrett because Anthony said Garrett did all this talking and said he wants out no matter what, but ended up staying. So,
did you see how much
again,
guaranteed money? They bet, dude. They drove the Brinks trucks right to his house.
Yep.
It wasn't a far trip. Trust me. They drove the trucks personally to his house and went, here. He went, okay.
What do you want?
He said, okay.
Yeah, personally, look, I said this, I made a YouTube short about it the other day. I am never going to sit there and criticize someone for getting paid. You can't, anybody would have took that deal.
It's very, very weird when you specifically state that there's no chance of you returning to the current team because you want to win.
Yep.
Now, I get it. I've seen players tons of times before. They take the money. They don't care about winning. That's cool. But for someone to come out and say that they don't want that, they want to win, and by any means they want out of their current situation, just to go back on that, yeah, Anthony, I understand your beef with him a little bit. It's definitely not a good look, because how do Cleveland fans really feel knowing that the guy really doesn't want to play for you, for the team? He's just there to collect the paycheck.
Yeah. And now the question is, now the funny thing would be if Miles, now he agrees to that deal, he sees what just happened with the Eagles and Browns and is just like,
what the hell?
Oh, so we're doing this again.
Yeah.
So we're doing this again, you say.
It's like, okay, yeah, you wanted to get rid of DTR and get something in return, but it's like, dude, seriously, that's not what you want to get. I mean, hell, I'd have traded for a receiver knowing you're going to pick up any other quarterback. Good grief. I mean, hell, what could have been worse? Oh, wait a minute. Daniel Jones could have been worse.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel Jones may be the Vikings starter next year if he re-signs with them.
Oh, my.
I am so
Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings. He's trying to complete his Brett Favre legacy path.
Kevin O'Connell and that organization is believed, no matter who that quarterback is, that they can save anybody. They did it with Sam Darnold, and now they think they could possibly do it with Daniel Jones.
They did it with
Not
Sam
saying
Darnold.
they can.
That's one guy. I could see if this has been like a multi-year thing going on where they just bring in these quarterbacks, make them great, and then, they're gone. They did it with one guy. And what happened the last 2 games of the season when they were playing for their division and then they were playing for a wild card spot? What happened? Sam Darnold didn't look too good.
Nope.
Fair enough. Anthony said it's 80% Rodgers going to Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's going to end up.
Now that I would turn around and have to slap the right back to Pittsburgh if that happens. I would just roll. I would roll because all Myles Garrett would sit there and go, "Oh, really? Okay."
Yeah, I could chase him around all game. Yeah. Easy.
All right, so just real quickly, in case anybody's wondering, Eagles save around $2.5 million in cap space by trading Kenny Pickett and taking on DTR's contract, of which basically nothing is guaranteed in it. So the Eagles saved almost $3 million by trading Kenny Pickett. So
nice. And a 5th round pick. This is great.
Yeah, of course.
DTR sorry, but thank you, I guess.
Yeah. No, Justin Fields is already signing with the Jets.
Justin Fields said, I will resign with Pittsburgh if they commit to me being the starter. Oh, look, he's in New York. They didn't believe in him. They kind of told you that after he started them 4-2, and then Russ came back and automatically was the starter.
Yep.
And now there's no accurate reports about this, but, if I was Justin Fields, that wouldn't make me happy. Like, I got this team to a 4-2 record, and I don't even have a chance. And it's not like during that 4-2 stretch, he never really played terrible. I'm okay with a quarterback being replaced or benched if they are playing bad. Like Daniel Jones played terrible to the Giants 2-8 start, got benched, then ultimately got released about 3 days later. That's how that should work. But I don't care if Russell Wilson was guaranteed the starting job from training camp. I don't care about that. The guy had you 4-2, and until he started to play bad, you kind of should have kept rolling with it. Now, look, I'm not saying the Steelers would have been an offensive juggernaut, but Justin Fields can still – he has an ability now that Wilson has not had probably since 5 years ago, and that's his legs. Russell Wilson does not have his legs anymore to extend plays or move around the pocket. He is a pocket passer now, and that's what he's going to be.
Yep.
Justin Fields, as a matter of fact, the Steelers actually used Justin Fields on the final drives of games to steal games because he could run. So, and I like the deal for the Jets. Now, I don't like the fact that Justin Fields went to the Jets. I don't know how much of a saving situation that really is for him. Now, he does get reunited with his buddy. He gets to go back and play with Garrett Wilson. They had a good chemistry at Ohio State. I'm sure George knows plenty of that.
It's another quarterback receiver combo. It's working. You get your college buddies back together, and look what can happen.
Yeah,
So,
there's
hey, Buffalo, watch that rear view mirror. Buffalo, watch that rear view mirror. I'm not saying it may not be this year, but I'd be watching that rear view mirror.
I would too, because I'm not saying that the Jets are now I think a lot of the Jets issues over the years have just been poorly ran. But last year, the organization's still a mess, but you're hoping Aaron Glenn can kind of fix some of it, right?
Who did Aaron Glenn play for, by the way? Oh, Ohio State. Oh,
we got more alumni over there.
I'm just paying attention to certain things. Just saying, it's getting interesting real quick.
But you're hoping that what Campbell and Glenn and Ben Johnson built in Detroit, you're hoping what they built rubbed off of Glenn and Johnson a lot, or they can try to rebuild where they are at now. I mean, currently, I'm sorry, I think Chicago, personally, I think they've had a very good free agency period, because it's almost funny now how, just look at the background of our show, this team has been doing it for 20 years, building through the lines, and notice all the moves today are mostly defensive and offensive linemen. It's only taken the rest of the league 25 years to catch up to what the Eagles have been doing. Yep. This started with Andy Reid, and it's continued since. But no, this is that's what the Jets are hoping, that Aaron Glenn just comes in, no drama, no BS, and they just come in, clean slate. There's still a lot of talent on that team.
Yeah.
I think people think the Jets are like this aging 35-year-old team. They got players. Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams, Sherwood, the linebacker they re-signed today, got a big money contract. They have talent. And then offensively, Justin Fields now, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. Not sure what Alan Lazard's career is going to be. He's probably waiting for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah, he's going to follow Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Yep.
Let the injury prone just keep following.
Well, Devontae can't do it. Devontae can't follow him anymore.
Oh, yes, he can. He'll just request a trade midseason.
Well, I wouldn't request a trade from the Rams. The Rams have had a very good start to free agency, too.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about Devontae Adams either. We'll get to that in a little bit. Real quickly, Clint's in here. What's up, Clint? Said Justin Fields must have a high Madden rating on the upcoming Madden. Oh, no. I know where he's going.
Wow. Remember, Mr. Cooper Kupp is being traded, so
yeah,
that could also be a little interesting too.
That's what I mean. All this stuff that's happened, and there's still so much more to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And Zolt with his comment of the year, Chicago 2025 off-season champs, repeating for 2024. Fair enough. The only thing I will say in regards to Chicago, and just so people understand, to all the people that listen to us on Spotify, do not try to get a grasp on where this show will go segment-wise. This show is going to be all over the place, so just enjoy the ride. I'm going to talk about the Bears right now, and I'll be talking about the friggin' Steelers in 10 minutes. That's how this show's going to go because I'm still checking Twitter because it's only 5:59 on Monday.
I was going to say, everybody's been practically getting hit all weekend long.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the Bears, I'm not saying the Bears. I think I like what they've done because they are addressing what they had to do. Caleb Williams was the most sacked quarterback in football last year. Mm-hmm. So what do? You go get Joe Thuney. Yes, I know he looked bad playing left tackle. That's because, breaking news, he's not a left tackle. Yep. He is now back to playing left guard. They went out and got Jonah Jackson from the Rams, who is familiar with Ben Johnson from his first couple years in Detroit before he signed with the Rams. And now you go out and you go get the center from Atlanta. You have literally rebuilt your entire interior offensive line, and you have a top pick to go add another one in the draft if you wanted to.
I think they target a right tackle in the draft.
I don't know. I think
what
maybe
position is that guy from the Rams? Wait, is he a right? Is he a tackle?
Jonah Jackson is going to play right guard. Thuney will play left guard.
Okay. Oh, so they're out on what's his name then? Tevin.
They may on Jenkins. Yeah, he may
Jenkins, not. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Which he hasn't been the greatest for them recently.
So, according to Adam Schefter, this is what the Bears' offensive line would be currently constructed: Braxton Jones at left tackle, Joe Thuney at left guard, Drew Dahlman at center, Jonah Jackson right guard, Darnell Wright at right tackle. So I still think they like Darnell a lot at right tackle. They just drafted him last year.
Yeah.
I'm sure, give Ben Johnson some time with some of the young guys. Let's see if they can develop them. I could still see a left tackle move be made.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much any trades would happen after you just saw the blockbuster that the Commanders just pulled off with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
But real quickly, Anthony said the winner of the offseason with only one move, the LA Rams. They've made two moves, and the other one is actually more important, in my opinion, than Devontae Adams. And I'm going to get to that in a second. Zolt said, true, the Bears are actually trying to fix their biggest issue. Yeah, Zolt, it only took them about 7 years to realize that you kind of need an offensive line in this league.
Bengals, take notes.
The Bengals have to just pay somebody, and they would be okay. They don't pay anybody. Clint said, yeah, and that was Keenan Allen death.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's responding to a comment that he replied to with Zolt in the chat. I'm just realizing it. Keenan Allen's a free agent, too. Wonder if he runs it back in Chicago. I would.
I would, too, because he kind of became Caleb Williams' safety blanket.
I'm just surprised the safety blanket held up.
Yeah, right? For the first time, his hamstrings held up.
But, yeah. Look, this has been a wild day. And like I said, I'm not saying the Bears are absolutely killing the offseason. We still got to see how Ben Johnson and his offense look with Caleb Williams. We still have to see a bunch of stuff go down. But they fixed, as of right now on paper, they fixed their biggest problem. And that was the fact that they had no offensive line last year.
Yeah.
They went out, you got easily one of the best left guards in football, bearing what happened at the end of last year because he had to move over to tackle. You have Jonah Jackson, who clearly can play in this league, and you just added probably the second best center in free agency, if not the best center in free agency. Now, again, we have to see how this all plays on the field, but again, this is why it's only March the 10th, and we don't play until September. Some fan bases need to understand that more than others.
Yep.
And Anthony said, it's crazy. A team that needs a wide receiver didn't get one yet, a.k.a. Chargers. Yeah, I don't know what the Chargers are doing. I honestly do not know where the Chargers are going from here.
Oh, what's Tyreek Hill up to?
He's staying in Miami, apparently.
He's staying?
Yeah, it came out a few weeks later after he said that I'm out stuff. He's staying. And Clint said it was the season that only reason he held up. Figure that. A guy with nagging hamstring injuries stays upright after being traded from a warm California city to a freezing cold Chicago.
Yeah,
Make that make sense.
I don't know.
But, and then Clint said, no, he didn't. He missed like 3 games, which is an improvement for him.
Yeah, I'm only missing 3 games. That's great. That's
Oh,
like the NBA equivalent of, a guy game managing for like 10 games.
Bro, the new 82 games in the NBA is like 60. You play 60 games, you're great. Bunch of losers. But yeah, I don't know what the Chargers are expecting. And not only did the Chargers not get a wide receiver one, they lost a wide receiver.
Yep.
They lost Joshua Palmer to the Bills.
Man, I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't.
Clint said he heard the Chargers might try to make a play for Kupp. That would help. Personally, that would help. I think that's the kind of wide receiver that they may have to look at. The only problem is that he operates a lot where Ladd McConkey operates in the field. I don't know if that's a fit. That's the problem.
Because they'd have to try to put one of them outside, and I just don't know how it's going to work.
Could they? What else is available for them to do at this point?
Call up the Saints. See if they're willing to part with one of their 2 injury-prone wideouts.
I know he's not a wide receiver one. Would you call the Jets about Lazard just to get somebody out there? Like,
maybe. It doesn't make him much better. I mean, if we're talking about getting weapons around Justin Herbert to try to get him over the hump, with what's remaining, I don't see it happening.
Just asking. I was just asking. That's all I was doing. But the Chargers, and honestly, I do. Why we're talking about Palmer going to Buffalo? I like that Buffalo is sticking with their philosophy. Yep. They're not going to go and overspend for a number 1 wide receiver. I like the offenses. It depends now. Now the Eagles have 2 stud wide receivers. I'm not trying to put my own foot in my mouth here, but they make it work. But when you have a talent like Josh Allen, and this is no disrespect to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're just going, they view Shakir as their number 1, and they're just building around it. They have him, they have a good role player in Coleman, and now they have another good role player in Palmer. They have James Cook, who's their superstar running back, and they have 2 really good pass-catching tight ends, unless you're in the AFC title game. Sorry, Dalton Kincaid.
Question for you.
Shoot.
Amari Cooper could be a good fit for the Chargers.
He could. Now, he didn't have the greatest run in Buffalo, but I think the Bills just operate better without having the guy that is like the commanding number 1 option. Sometimes having 4 or 5 guys to space the ball to wins you better. The Patriots only did it for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's be real. How many teams would Julian Edelman have been the number 1 wide receiver on?
None.
Maybe like 2. 2 poorly ran franchises. But that's my point. Sometimes when you have that superstar of a quarterback, you're better off just giving them like 4 or 5 guys. And again, you got Diggs out of there. Josh Allen, he mentally looked great this year. I thought he played the most free football of his career this year.
He did.
And Zolt says Higgins hasn't signed his franchise tag. Throw Bengals an offer. I think that is what has screwed the Chargers up a lot. That was their goal, was to get T. Higgins, and the Bengals have ruined it. Now, like Zolt said, he hasn't signed the franchise tag yet. So if I'm the Chargers, honestly, at this point, what do you want?
Yeah, because T. Higgins is going to hold out. It's going to happen. So the Bengals really want to just hang on to him or get something for him. Because I think with how desperate the Chargers are, easily 2nd or 3rd.
Not only that, their goal is to tag. The goal was to tag Higgins to work out a long-term deal. Have you paid Trey Hendrickson yet? No.
Nope.
and this is once again where the Bengals step on their own neck. They came out and said, we're going to make Jamar Chase the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. And then Max Crosby and Myles Garrett happened, and now look what you're looking at. You have stepped. Not only did you put your foot on your own neck, you stepped on it, basically crippling yourself to whatever you had planned, because now you have to pay Jamar Chase big-time bucks. Result makes a good point. Stephon Diggs is also available.
Yeah, Diggs, I mean, you probably get him pretty cheap coming off an injury.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably want to...
He'll play. I think he could pair
I have no
up
issue
well
with that.
there.
But, yeah, I have no issue with that. So, I don't know where the Chargers go from here in terms of trying to find a wide receiver. I mean, is there anything available on the trade market? Maybe, like we said, T. Higgins, maybe Cooper Kupp, maybe. Again, I just don't know where Cooper Kupp. I don't know. If I'm the Chargers, I don't know, because I thought they had a good plan heading. I thought they had a great opportunity heading into the offseason. You know, McConkey came in, looked strong his rookie year, and now you're kind of sitting there, and now it's like, all right, well, what else? Because I don't know how much confidence in Quentin Johnston they should have left, because I don't have much. So, I mean, and another one, Metcalf would have made a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
But the Steelers ended up going in and just throwing him away into wherever Pittsburgh wants to do with him. Now, granted, maybe the Chargers, I'm assuming the Chargers realize that they trade for a guy like a Metcalf or a Higgins, they're going to have to pay that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, like, then the only other free agent tier name I can think of is Tyler Lockett. I don't know how much of a needle mover that is at this point. So, again, I don't know where we're at here when it comes to the Chargers. They've kind of it's been underwhelming so far for them. I expected them to come out and make some moves, and they haven't. I'm actually surprised the Broncos aren't doing more either. I thought the Broncos would be over some things, but
yeah,
I don't view the Broncos as the same, though. I feel like they're doing enough. They have some. I still think they want to see what they have in some players. Like they got the Hufanga, the safety from the Niners. I thought that's a good move. Helps shore up the back end of that defense a little bit.
Yeah.
And they got a bunch of young pass rushers and guys they really like. They have Pat Surtain, so they got some players. So I'm not too upset that the Broncos aren't doing much, but yeah, I really thought that. I honestly did think that the Chargers would have a better plan heading into this offseason, and right now they're going to be looking at the same group next year, minus Joshua Palmer. And I'm not saying Palmer was a wide receiver one, but he was at least a solid player.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in Buffalo.
They can get a replacement for him. That's not a big deal. It's just they're not going to be able to add a star that they need.
Plus, they could go after Kupp. All they have to do is just flip locker rooms. Wouldn't have far to go.
You know, I've never seen two teams play in the same stadium, but feel like they are completely in a different area when they play at home.
Because we're used to San Diego.
Well, no, that's because LA fans really don't exist because half of the stadium is filled by employees, and it's Staples Center when Kobe was in his prime all over again. It's a tourist attraction. It's not a football stadium. That's why Eagle fans take it over every year.
And 49er fans and Cardinal fans.
Oh, my.
And,
yeah, it's like.
And Raider fans.
That's the problem. California, Los Angeles has too much stuff to do. That's the problem. The biggest attraction sports-wise in California right now is the Dodgers. And that's because baseball fans are traditional and diehard. But to me, California, I'm not And plus, God only knows how much it costs to go to a game at SoFi. God only knows how much that costs. You probably have to give them your life insurance policy just so you can get a ticket.
Shoot, I wonder how much it costs to get into the WrestleMania.
So I got to take out a second mortgage. Good Lord. Zolt said they could always go after Lockett, Slayton, Hopkins, Elijah Moore, Mike Williams. Oh, come on, Zolt. Not the Mike Williams train again. There are guys out there. They all have issues, but that's why they're available.
I could see Lockett. at the Chargers. I could see that.
It fits Herbert's play style.
Yeah.
They need
a good,
someone
reliable receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get the ball downfield with him still.
Yeah.
Right.
D-Hop's probably going back to Kansas City. I like the Elijah Moore idea. I think if Moore has like a better quarterback situation, he could still play. Mike Williams, no idea what he has left. And please, oh God, keep Darius Slayton away from anybody. I don't know why people. Darius Slayton is easily the most overrated 800-yard-a-year wide receiver I've ever seen.
That's about accurate.
I don't see what the guy brings for you.
The Steelers just got Darius Slay.
That has not been confirmed yet because he is still under contract with the Eagles because he can't be released till Wednesday. But now there are still reports of there's still a possibility of a return to Philly.
Really?
It's always going to be a possibility. And Zolt says, sign a veteran with issues and draft someone mid-draft. Yeah, so honestly, if I had to pick from that list, I'm going with Lockett.
Yeah.
For this exact reason. I don't think Darius Slayton is good. Hopkins is too old. Elijah Moore is more... I don't view him as the same as the deep threat wide receiver, and the Chargers already did the Mike Williams thing.
Yeah, they've been there. They moved on from that. They're not going back to that.
No.
So pretty much, if the Chargers don't sign Lockett, they're screwed. It's just going to be whatever you can get from the draft and throw them out on the field. See what happens. They're going to rely heavily on the run again with Dobbins until he gets injured. We don't know which week that's going to come, sadly.
He's a free agent, too.
Oh, man. They should bring him back. But they got to bring somebody else in with him.
Because they cut Gus Edwards, so...
Yeah. Gus Edwards, man.
Gotta love all this rumor mill crap. Right. My buddy's even saying about Micah Parsons going to the Steelers. It's like, dude, Pittsburgh doesn't have the money to pull that off.
Yeah.
Good luck when you gotta give him $45 million a year. Because once again, Jerry Jones misplayed his hand as per usual.
Yep.
And then Zolt said, I think a lot of teams also got thrown when Godwin stayed in Tampa. Why is everybody surprised at that? Tampa does a good job at keeping their players.
They do.
And honestly, I love the Hassan Reddick deal there. 1 year, see if he can replenish his value somehow. Gets, $12 million guaranteed for a year?
Yep. And
Todd Bowles has been known to have a pretty good defense, so you add Reddick to that, can't hurt.
No, the Bucs they'll be back in competition again.
Bucs are a sneaky team in the NFC.
They are.
They're just sneaky.
I think they need their 1-2 punch at running back works, but I feel like it could be better.
Well, year two, Bucky Irving's going to have something to say to you in a few months.
He probably will. I wouldn't be surprised. I hope so.
You can't see it. According to the Pittsburgh NFL Insider, Aaron Rodgers is getting close to signing the deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I want to see that beautiful bridge in Pittsburgh start collapsing.
Oh my.
Oh, please let that happen. Please let that happen.
So now the Vikings are going to get stuck with Daniel Jones.
Oh, jeez.
And the Viking ship will collapse.
Did maybe McCarthy fall off a bridge?
No, he didn't. But from the sounds of it, I don't know how much are the Vikings really looking at starting him this year.
Well, then why'd you draft him?
I don't know. I mean, they probably didn't expect him to get set back with the injury.
Almighty. If you draft the kid in the top 10, you need to know right away, can the kid play? I hate the bridge quarterback stuff sometimes. Some situations it makes sense. When you're like, okay, I know it wasn't a bridge, but look at the Eagles, right? Jalen Hurts was taken in the second round. They had Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz stunk. So then they put Jalen in. They found out he could play a little bit. But when you're drafting a kid in the top 10, you need to know, can the kid play in the NFL? So starting Daniel Jones next year, if you do re-sign him, because the Colts apparently are still high on him as well, which, by the way, if that happens, if Anthony Richardson cannot outtake Daniel Jones, that's a humongous problem.
He needs to be out of the NFL at that point.
But Zolt said, as reported by Aaron Rodgers, so I've been seeing getting close since 1 p.m. Wait, guys. How is he close? Isn't he like somewhere where his phone's like off and there's like no Wi-Fi? Isn't he in like Tahiti or something? Isn't he in like Tahiti? I don't even know where he's at. Well, you see, they're all out somewhere. Devontae Adams is in Japan. Justin Fields is in Dubai, apparently. So,
yeah, they're all on vacation.
Oh yeah, there are some luxurious vacations, honestly. Anthony said, what's the point of drafting a quarterback, not going to play him? Now I traded for a quarterback, not going to keep him. Vikings, I'm confused. Yeah, I am too. No, but here's the thing. I get not keeping Sam Darnold if you are sticking to your plan. The plan was for Darnold to be the bridge quarterback to McCarthy. Nobody expected Sam Darnold to play the way he did last year. I don't care if you say you did or not. You are lying to yourself. No one expected Sam Darnold to throw 35-plus touchdowns last year. No one expected the Vikings to go 14-3. Honestly, what they probably expected was Darnold to play maybe above average, and then maybe they would have, if he played poorly a couple weeks here and there, okay, let's see what McCarthy can do. But the monkey wrench got thrown in because then McCarthy got hurt and missed the entire season. So you were stuck with Darnold from the start. That's where the wrench gets thrown in. And I'm okay if this is how it worked out. Okay, Stan, you played the whole year. Thank you for a good year. Go get your money. We are going to stick to our plan and roll with JJ. I don't understand why you're looking at quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers and Daniel Jones and thinking you're going to start one of them over JJ McCarthy. If JJ McCarthy can't play, then you need to admit that and figure something out. But you got to see if the kid can play. Because if not, you just wasted a draft pick on a kid that you're never going to play. So, does anyone else have any thoughts on this? Because my mind is blown.
I mean, they still need to have. They still need to bring somebody in with him. So who's it going to be?
I don't know. They lost Mullen too. He went to the Jags.
Exactly. So they need to have someone in there as competition.
Hey, I can always say pick Adam's favorite guy, the Mississippi Mustache. He's available. He just got released. Yeah, Sam just went.
Oh,
That's
God,
it.
not Minshew.
I'd rather see Jameis Winston.
No, he's coming. He's coming here. He's coming here.
Oh man,
crab legs. You know, he's looking for new crab legs. He's going to Frisco. Get those new crab legs.
Oh, good Lord. What are we doing here?
I don't have a problem with Jameis Winston. See, everybody else does. I don't.
I like Jameis.
I don't.
I do too.
I like him. He's a fun dude.
He's a locker room guy.
He's going to be a great WWE promo guy one day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, from your lips to God's ears. Let's do it.
Zolt said, going back to Parsons, I think Jerry is doing the same as the Lions. You wait until the new league year so the bonus kicks in for 2026, not 2025. that could make sense. Anthony's praying for Parsons to become a Commander. Probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Oh
And
my
then Anthony-
God! I'm sorry. One of my buddies who's the Steelers fan just turned around and sent an interesting picture saying
Okay.
Myles Garrett and Kenny Pickett have a new handshake. I was like, oh, I forgot about that little
Remember
incident.
that?
Oh, I forgot about that little incident. Boy, this locker room just got real interesting real fast.
Breaking news: Myles Garrett requests a trade out of Cleveland.
Right? Whoops. I think Andrew Berry might have forgotten about that incident too. I did. Oh, that locker room just became real interesting real fast.
Now all they got to do is get Mason Rudolph and have the whole trio together.
Oh my gosh.
Real quickly, per Adam Schefter, Rams are planning to release wide receiver Cooper Kupp after the start of the new league year unless a trade materializes. So
teams aren't going to trade
nobody-
for him
yeah.
because it just
No.
doesn't make sense now. You're not
They're
going
not
to give
gonna
up
take one of
something.
the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So that literally gives the Chargers the opportunity to scoop him. That gives the Chargers, the Colts, the Jags.
I think this is a good time for the Broncos to step in the fold.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
Get a veteran slot receiver as talented as Kupp in that locker
Or
room.
Lockett.
Or Lockett.
Yeah, see, I don't mind that stuff for the Broncos because I'm not trying to. There's not as much pressure on the Broncos right now than there is the Chargers, right? I mean, Bo Nix is in the second year of his career.
Yeah, they got time to figure some stuff
Justin
out.
Herbert. Here's the problem with the Chargers. Justin Herbert is part of two of the worst playoff games you could ever think of. 4 interceptions and a 27-point blown lead. Now, granted, I'm not blaming the 27-point blown lead completely on him. But when you have that attached to your resume and they bring in Jim Harbaugh, who is supposed to save you, and they do save you somewhat. They limit your pass attempts early because you were banged up. They ran the football effectively all year. Then you get to the playoffs, and basically your stat line is basically like a record stuck on the same line. Pick, 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 pick. That's the problem.
Yep.
So
I'd say
they
go
gotta
get
figure-
yourself 2 new guards, and you won't have the pick problem. That's been LA's problem. That's been the Chargers' problem for 3 years.
Yeah.
No
Well,
guard.
yeah,
No
I mean,
guard.
they started fixing the tackles. I mean, they have Slater. They drafted Joe Alt, so you're
Yeah.
good there.
You're
Right.
good
But you got
there,
to get that
but
interior guy.
exactly. They got nothing on the interior.
Got
Well, they
zero.
just extended their center this afternoon too, so they got that going now. So
Get the
still some
guards.
interior guys out there.
Yeah.
Get the guards, and you'll be fine.
They could have used
Hold on,
Joe
no.
Thuney.
No. LA Charger fans, stay away from Mekhi Becton. Don't you steal? That's mine. We keep Mekhi. I think we're just waiting for Mekhi's price to come down a little bit. But what the Packers pulled this afternoon with the guy from the Niners giving him $77 million, that may be out of the equation now.
Yep. Of course.
So real quickly, Zolt said, isn't Christian Kirk available? No. He got
the
traded to the
Texans, isn't he?
Texans.
Yeah. The Texans are just adding to the injury-prone receiver corps.
Yeah.
Honestly. But I mean, look, when Diggs hits the market and you already know, remember, Tank Dell just had his ACL surgery like 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
because he had to recover from his dislocated knee. So he's already out for next season. You kind of don't have a choice but to add a wide receiver.
I think that it's the first couple of weeks. I think he'll be out through week 4, but I wouldn't push it any further than that.
I mean, a wide receiver who just
He'll recuperate. He's a
ACL
young,
recovered.
good young receiver.
I would give him time. You don't want to rush it. He needs to rehabilitate it after he's cleared as well. Because that would be the worst thing for them to do is to rush him back. And then he just plays terrible. Or gets re-injured.
The Texans have already said they are prepared for him not to play next year. They've already said it. He's not coming back next year. That injury was too damn bad for him to even try to play next year. More news from Adam Schefter. Former Broncos backup quarterback Zach Wilson has reached an agreement on a 1-year, $6 million fully guaranteed deal that could grow up to $10 million with the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Well, look, if you're a backup quarterback and you want to try to make yourself a little more money, go to Miami. You'll probably play at least 4 games a year.
At least more. 4?
Oh, I'd say 4? 8. You're playing 8. What do you mean 4?
I think you're playing half the season there.
You're playing half the season, yeah.
No, I'm just trying to be nice, okay? 4 games.
And honestly, at this point, Tua is probably 1 or 2 more concussions away from being forced to retire. They're not even going to give him an option. He's not even getting an option.
1 more away.
Yeah, the league's just going to be like, yeah, you're done, buddy. You're not allowed.
Are you kidding? He gets into the car and he's going to get a concussion from the compression.
So yeah, Zach Wilson. All right, that's a solid landing spot. You know, I would have loved to make the joke of Zach Wilson to the Vikings.
We've got more. This is coming from Jordan Stoltz. Former Chiefs defensive tackle Kershawn Worthen has agreed to a 3-year deal worth $54 million with the Carolina Panthers, who I feel like have signed every defensive free agent not named Milton Williams today.
Yeah, they lost Milton Williams, so that's their backup option.
Good Lord.
They need a running back.
No, man, Chuba Hubbard.
They got Chuba Hubbard.
And the other kid they got hurt last year, too. No, the other kid they got from Texas last year that got hurt. He was looking pretty good, too. Yeah,
he retore his ACL again.
Well, hey, he doesn't have to be the starter, right? If he can get healthy and play behind Chuba Hubbard.
Did you not hear what I just said? He literally was the backup this year and he got hurt.
Yeah, I know that.
So
Anthony,
what are we talking about?
Give him a chance. Give him another chance.
ACL again.
That's only 2 chances. Give him a 3rd chance.
Oh, Anthony's killing me. Oh, that's great.
So did the Browns trade for Kenny because he got a ring real tall to speak?
He brings the championship mentality to Cleveland.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's just getting
It's going to be a great season in Cleveland, I'm feeling.
You know what? If Cleveland just wants to add champions to their team, try to convince Jason Peters to come out of retirement.
Would you stop it?
Held. As I say, you're going to turn around and go for anybody coming out of retirement. It's like, yo, Joe Thomas, come on.
Oh,
we
man,
know you got something.
No.
Oh, no.
He's looking back at that.
I know QB. I sent you guys the Ben Roethlisberger thing.
Yeah.
I sent you the Ben Roethlisberger thing. Now tell me that wasn't funny.
That's hilarious.
He's like, oh, man, I got some wide receivers. Let's run it.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, oh, hey, now. Yeah. It's like, oh, he's got somebody real. It's like, hey, Ben, that offensive line is still Swiss cheese, dude.
It's all right. He's used to getting hit in the pocket.
So, what? Since we
wow.
What did he? Wait, what did you say?
I said Big Ben's used to getting hit in the pocket. Am I wrong?
Oh my
Dude
God.
is like known for just standing in there and getting blown up, but he gets the pass off.
That wasn't the pocket I thought you were referring to.
No,
I thought we were going somewhere completely different.
He said that quickly too. I thought he was thinking out in left field. There.
No, not that. We're not going there.
Okay.
We're not going there.
I was like, oh my gosh, Tyler! Oh, we're on a roll today. Oh man! Oh boy!
Anthony said, "Hold on, I didn't know Josh Palmer went to the Bills. So who the hell the Chargers got for wide receiver? Lad McConkey, and that's it."
What about Quentin Johnson?
Would you?
Yeah,
you dropped the deal. Just like him, you dropped the ball on that one. All right, so in addition to adding Worthen from the Chiefs, the Panthers have also added they added Bobby Brown, the defensive tackle from the Rams. They added Patrick Jones, the edge rusher from the Vikings, who had a 7-sack season last year, played a little banged up. They extended J.C. Horn. They brought over Morwig, the safety from the Raiders. These dudes are apparently trying to fix their defense.
Yeah.
And I mean, these are solid moves. I'm hoping it helps them in some regard because that defense has been bad for a while.
They weren't that bad. They were in a few games last year. They gave some people some headaches. They give a few people a little bit of headaches. If the defense could have held a little bit more, it could have been a little bit more interesting.
They gave up, but they almost scared us.
I wasn't naming names, Sam. I wasn't trying.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, like the Panthers, they're putting it together. It's really the defensive part where they were slacking a little bit, but offensively, I think they're good enough.
Yeah, like just being real. The Panthers gave us.
Yeah, that's
real being real.
I don't know, Anthony. That's one that I'm hoping and praying for, but I don't think it's going to happen. I wouldn't mind it one bit.
What's the price tag for Joey Bosa? Gets hurt a lot.
That's the question. We don't know. It just released, so
yeah.
That is the ultimate question. Is and they'll say, hey, what do you think? So I mean, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind it one bit, not at all. But it's like, yeah, okay, what's it going to cost?
Yeah, right. I think ultimately that Joey's going to end up with his brother, and I think that's just what they want. I don't know what the Niners' plan outside of that is, but
no, we got to fix a few more things, especially Kinlaw being gone. It's like, okay, we got some other holes we got to fill right now.
Yep.
Heck, we could slide over to the Commanders right since you wanted to bring that up. I mean, oh my God. I mean, Kinlaw, that's fine. I think Kinlaw's a solid move. Did Houston wake up and think that their offensive line was going to be fixed by trading an all-pro left tackle? I mean,
Washington's got a lot of money and a lot of power right now.
Yeah, and that's why they were able to do this deal.
But that's scary considering how well they did this past year on top of it.
We're just breaking more news here. Vikings are expected to sign 4-time Pro Bowl center from the Colts, Ryan Kelly, for 2 years, $18 million.
Wow.
What would Bosa deal be based on? 12 games a year?
Maybe 10 to 12.
And a bunch of almost sacks.
And 3 cases of brisket.
Oh, my.
From Anthony. So Anthony says Washington doesn't believe in draft picks, I see. Anthony, you have about 3 years till Jaden Daniels is going to command a lot of money.
Right. You got a little time.
Not only that, this year, you played with house money. Even with Jaden Daniels, nobody predicted the Commanders to be in the NFC Championship game this year. You have to go out there now and take advantage of that. You are now going to protect him with Laramie Tunsil. I understand Laramie Tunsil had a down year. I can't even front about this. It's a good addition. You're going to protect him, his blind side now. You brought in guys last year that filled the culture. Zach Ertz, who you re-signed. Bobby Wagner, who you re-signed. And you didn't give them a lot. They got 1-year deal. Debo, I'm not a Debo guy. I think they could have done better. I think they could have done better with the amount of money they have to spend. I thought there was better option. But you're doing exactly what we all expected. Now, I'm surprised Jeremy Chin didn't come back because I thought Chin had a really good year for them. So, but now he's over in Vegas with the Raiders. So, I like what the Commanders are doing. Kinlaw, I mean, we'll see how much of an is that an upgrade from Jonathan Allen? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
well, you're gonna find out twice a year, buddy. You're about to find out twice a year.
We're not going to
Am
find
I?
out.
Okay. You're
All
going to find
Pro
out when he
Bowl-
lines up
All
against
Pro
Landon
Bowl
Dickerson.
offensive line. No, we'll find out how good Kinlaw is for them when he's going up against the Cowboys and the Giants. Most likely the Cowboys, because I think the Giants, just with Andrew Thomas alone, they're probably looking a lot better than whatever the Cowboys have left.
Oh, Cowboys don't have nothing left.
CeeDee Lamb's going to regret begging for that much money to stay.
Wonder how Dak's feeling.
Sure.
Hey, he's like Winston. He don't care. He's getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting paid. He don't care.
He don't care. He's getting
Getting
paid.
paid and getting injured.
CeeDee Lamb's got to be ticked. He's like, damn it, I should have just freaking went elsewhere. Because you ain't making it. It's going to suck. It really is. Could you have imagined though CeeDee Lamb with somebody like Kansas City or Buffalo?
Or the Chargers?
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to go for a winning team.
That's valid.
You pick Buffalo.
Right. That's a winning team.
And now when they get to a certain point in the postseason.
I'm just saying it's still a winning. I'm sorry. You just made my point though. They made it to the postseason. Deep into the postseason.
The Chargers did. They just didn't make it as far.
That's like saying that's like saying the Jags went far.
Fair point. That other team today that's been active has been the Jags. It's literally been nothing but secondary and offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I would hope so. After they just cut their entire wide receiver unit. I mean Evan Ingram,
what it was. Come on.
They should have kept Evan Ingram.
That one I could have agreed upon because the backup kid wasn't that great. Ingram, when he was out injured, it sucked, but when he was there, oh my God. I mean, solid. It was TL's, oh shit, catch it. He's there. Yeah, they could probably re-sign him and bring him back for cheaper.
Probably. Maybe the Jags. Their Jags are making a lot of moves. They could be another one looking at Cooper Kupp. They're probably not going to trade for him, obviously, but they might be one of the first teams to call him up.
I was going to say, they could acquire him or Lockett too. Yeah.
I personally think Jacksonville personally got rid of him because they do like the kid behind him, Bretton Strange from Penn State. He had 400 yards last year, so.
It wasn't good enough.
400 yards? I feel like 400 yards is like third string.
Yeah. It's not good enough. No.
What third string tight end gets 400 yards?
Oh, he's a tight end. I thought he was wide receiver.
No,
tight end. Okay.
I was going to say
that's not bad then.
Holy crap! I was about to flip.
No, do it, Sam. Flip.
Well, first of all, you'll know he's going to be good no matter what because you know where he went to school.
Yeah. Penn State.
That's all Penn State does is create. Unless you're Theo Johnson, you're on the Giants. I can't help that.
Well, Sam, you might be mistaken. The Jags might draft your boy from Penn State.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Tight end.
Warren?
Yeah.
What about?
Yeah.
What about?
They need receiver help though. They need receiver. Right. They've needed receiver help for 2 years. Warren Thomas last year, but that's all you had. You need.
Yeah, Christian Kirk had that great first season down in Jacksonville. Then the league caught up to him, and they're like, "Wait a minute, all right, high safety, we're good."
Yeah.
Speaking of teams that have been going batshit crazy today, how about we talk about the Patriots for a second? What they did. They've been all over the place.
Patriots are trying to win.
They are. But, you're looking at Milton Williams, Harold Landry, Carlton Davis, Morgan Moses. I don't know why they're paying a 34-year-old Morgan Moses all that money, but I like everything else.
What are the who are the wide receivers again?
That's going to be, I guess, a draft day.
That's been a draft day thing for the past couple of years.
Oh boy,
That's who else
right.
needs some receiver help too. Don't let them get both. You let a team get Cooper and Lockett. Don't let that happen. Do not let that happen. I'm just saying. Don't let that happen. If somebody pulls that off and that happens, okay, I'll be paying attention.
Speaking of paying
both guys
attention,
played both opposite sides of the football really well.
Speaking of attention, we got some minor news here. The Bengals continue to solidify their defense. They are closing on a deal with former Eagles linebacker Oren Burks. Burks gets a 2-year deal worth $5 million with an opportunity to start. In the playoffs, Burks stepped in for injured Nakobe Dean and had 25 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 pass defended, and 2 QB hits. Okay, so we have no insurance plan for Nakobe Dean? Okay.
Nope. How much was the deal again?
$5 million for 2 years.
$5 million for 2. $2.5 million a year. Really? We couldn't bring that back?
Here we go again. George, let me just warn you now, in about 10 minutes, the Eagles fans' philosophy, the offseason ends right now. Season starts tomorrow. We're done. We'll be 9-8 next year. The worst team in football all of a sudden. That's how we think in this city.
Who said 9-8?
That's how this fan base thinks.
But you're telling me, though, Sam, that we can't bring back a role player for 2 years, $5 million? That's chump change.
Okay. And what if they want Trotter to get more playing time next year?
No, we can hope. I got to see it. Because all I saw was him playing special teams most of the year.
Well, yeah. Because for literally 88% of the season, Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond were wreaking havoc all over the league.
Yeah, but guess what? Oren Burks was still higher up on the depth chart than him.
Okay. That usually happens with guys that are picked in the 5th round on and a veteran. That's usually how that works. But now, can we all Eagle fans have told me today is none of you trust anybody in this organization. That's what you guys have told me today. You don't trust Howie. You don't trust the coaching staff. You don't trust anybody.
That's a lie, because earlier I started off by saying I guess Fangio has a plan by letting Isaiah Rodgers go. He must have somebody else that he likes, and I hope he does.
Vic Fangio don't make roster decisions last time I checked.
I'm sure he has a lot of input, Sam.
Yeah.
Having the best defense in the NFL, you'd be damned if they're not talking with him before they're making these decisions.
I mean, you guys didn't do too bad in last year's draft. I sat here with the both of you.
Yeah.
You did all right. Did all right that first night.
Well, that's right. Then you got certain dials saying that we let our best and most consistent edge rusher go.
Who was that?
Josh Sweat was consistent?
He was consistent at missing tackles. That was pretty consistent.
Up until the Super Bowl, I didn't even know that Josh Sweat was still here.
Oh, no, I did. I knew he was here because I would see him get in the backfield and not finish the job. He brought some decent pressure. Josh Sweat is just not a good finisher. And he's not a good tackler.
And it's fitting that he gets to be reunited back with Jonathan Gannon.
Best of luck to you, Sweat. Best of luck.
And look, I'm not the guy. Look, I'm not talking about these players, but I was not giving Josh Sweat $75 million.
No. And I'm glad I didn't make the joke. I was going to make a joke to you earlier when you were telling me about Milton Williams. I was going to say, watch, we get stuck with Josh Sweat.
Yeah, now that I would have been upset. I would have been more upset if they kept Josh Sweat.
I didn't want him back. He had a a decent year, a good enough year to get paid, perform well in the Super Bowl, congratulations. I've still seen him his whole career here. It wasn't anything, flashy that I was going to lose sleep over.
Yeah. And in terms of the Isaiah Rodgers thing, okay, I'm upset with that one. But I don't think the Eagles anticipated him to get $8 to $9.5 million a year.
Wasn't it 7.5? It's 7.5. And it's
whatever.
8 guaranteed.
Okay, I don't think they envisioned on him having that big of a salary. But if you're looking at the backup corners, that's kind of what they're going. If you're looking at corners right now, that's where they're going. Dante Jackson got, I think, almost $6.5 million a year from a team, and he's not. I don't think he's better than Isaiah Rodgers by a stretch at all. But
I think they're going to try and see what they have with Ricks and Ringo. They'll bring in a veteran at some point. They'll find a veteran to sign just to have them in the room. But I think they might try to see what they have with those two, starting on the outside with Quinn Young.
That's fine, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to develop from within to keep a consistent thing here. And for anybody who is upset about Milton Williams, yes, I love Milton Williams. I wanted him to stay. Guess what? I'm not keeping Milton Williams when I have to pay Jalen Carter in a couple of years, which, thanks to Milton Williams, his price tag just went up.
Mm-hmm. And also, we developed Milton Williams into what he is today. I think Mauro Ujamo is going to be the next Milton Williams.
I think Ujamo is going to, honestly, they're going to add a defensive tackle to fill Ojamo's role to be a pass rusher. That's where I see like a Javon Hargrave maybe. Or here's another. I got Niners defensive tackles on my brain. Malik Collins. One of those two makes sense because the problem with the 49ers they thought that Hargrave was an every down defensive tackle. I could have told you back in Pittsburgh that wasn't his job. He's a pass rusher. If you want him to stop the run, I hope you guys have a great time because he hasn't done that since he got into the league. But if you put Hargrave on a team like Philly now where he'll play behind Jalen Carter and then he is just playing pass rush down, then baby, sign me up. I'm cool with that. But if you thought that I knew Milton Williams was going to leave and they're going to get a third-round comp pick for him. As of right now, with the compensatory picks, it looks like we're going to get a third rounder for Milton Williams. It may be, but it's probably going to be a fourth rounder for Josh Sweat, and we're going to get a sixth rounder for Isaiah Rodgers. So, real quickly, just to cut myself off for a sec. What's up, Carol?
What's up, Carol?
So, I don't know why anybody. I don't even care about the Isaiah Rodgers thing. I'm not saying I don't care, but I don't understand why anybody is upset about the things that we have been predicting for weeks. This is what is going to happen. You were going to lose Milton Williams. You were going to lose Josh Sweat. You were going to lose guys like Isaiah Rodgers and Oren Burks. You were going to lose guys.
You know what I see happening now? I can see them bringing back Slay. What was the rumored deal with the Steelers?
There is none. There is just he agreed to a deal, but there's no rumor. I don't want Darius Slay back.
I'm not even talking about as a starter. I'm not even talking about as a starter.
Then why are we having this conversation?
Because you need to bring in a veteran at some point, just for added depth.
Tyler.
All right, we're bringing back Bradbury. That's it.
Yeah, Bradbury wouldn't know. Bradbury would know when to shut his mouth. Darius Slay, we already know. Well, you know you're going to lose him after next year anyway. So, I mean, look, I wouldn't be completely opposed to it if I'm in like going into the summer and I still haven't added a veteran. But you know what? He continues to open his mouth on podcasts and on radio stations and doesn't know when to knock it off. So I'm done with him. Thank you. Thanks for everything. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I got no more interest with a guy who doesn't know how to stop talking on a radio station.
What's he supposed to do? Sit there?
Know what, when, and what to say. So, no. Darius, whatever. Great player. Good leader. doesn't know when to not say certain things. But they can still bring him back, like I said, and nobody's going to be opposed to it because on the field the guy's a great player. My only gripe with Darius Slay is he doesn't think before he talks. But we have to wait and see. Hell, somebody brought the name Ronald Darby up, and I almost threw up.
Oh my, no.
Ronald Darby's had every major leg injury you can think of. So, and more. We got another Shefty report. Wide receiver Darius Slayton is signing a 3-year, $36 million deal to return to the New York Giants.
There you go. The one team that'll take him.
He'll never leave.
Wow.
Well, now we got to bring back Darius Slay. We need to have the Slay and Slayton battle one more time.
No, we don't.
At least one more time. You got to give me that.
No, we don't.
So I'll be cool with that. I mean, like I said, there's guys out there. There are corners that you could get for 1-year deal, however you want to look at it. They will bring in a veteran. Don't know when, but they will. The Eagles are not going to go quietly for the next week and a half. They're going to do something. The new league year is on Wednesday. They'll figure out something between now and then. But again, we knew this was going to happen. They're going to find guys that don't go against the comp pick formula. They're going to go for guys that are going to be cheaper, that are trying to replenish their value. We knew this from day one. I don't understand. I really don't understand why anybody is upset with any of this. The season is not won. You know who wins the day? And I'm going back to something that Zolt said early on in the show. You know who wins today? Bad teams.
Yep.
The Jags win. Oh, the Jags won the day. Well, yeah, they stink. That's why. Well, the Patriots won the day. They've been irrelevant since Brady left. I hope they did win the freaking day. Bad teams win day one. Great teams win it. Oh my God! Why do you do this? But no, bad teams win today. That's how they win. They're so bad that they have to fix multiple holes on their team because they have so much money because they have no good players. The Eagles, last time I checked, Jalen Hurts is still the starting quarterback here. Saquon Barkley's still here. Landon Dickerson and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are still here. Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata are still here. The only thing you're losing on offense is Teddy Gainwell and Mekhi Becton, and I can think of about – you already have an in-house replacement for Becton, and that's Dean. That's fine.
Kenny Pickett.
Oh, George, that sounds like a bad cough you got there. Did you get that from Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. But – and defensively, okay, still have CJ. Reed's still here. You still have Quinyon and Cooper. Like, there's not your defensive line. You still have Jordan Davis. You still have Jalen Carter. You still have Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt. Ojama's going to step in. I'm excited to watch more Ojama play football next year. Yeah. The guy had the second highest.
Too.
Exactly. But
see, I'm not upset. I knew we re-signed the guy that we all wanted, Zach Bond. He was the big
exactly.
Everyone else, we knew there was a good chance they were all going to go. We weren't going to be able to keep them. There were maybe one guy or two guys that we were hoping we could keep, one or the other. It was Rodgers. I would have liked to see him, a young guy, 25, 26 years old. I think he still had a lot to work on and to prove, but it's just not going to be here.
Yeah, and again, like there are guys that they may have wanted to keep Rodgers, and the Vikings swooped in and surprised them. But again, they could still sign a free agent. There's still veteran guys out there. There's guys on the trade block that you could still look at. There's a draft coming up in a month, in case anybody forgot how good that usually turns out for the Eagles. But, and I'm sorry, how many times does Howie make it right before the season trade that works out? Ronald Darby, back in 2017, won a Super Bowl that year. He got CJ 2 years ago. Yep. He traded for DeAndre Swift on the last day of the draft. Howie Roseman And the more annoying part of this is that Howie Roseman warned you about this. He told you it was not going to be like last year. So, like I said, they're not going to add much. They don't need to. And for the people that are saying, oh, well, what about 2023? They didn't have this kind of talent in 2023.
Yeah.
They didn't have a young, up-and-coming defense. They had the oldest defense in the league. They also didn't have Vic Fangio. They didn't have Saquon Barkley either. They didn't have that.
Nope.
Relax. Take a chill pill. Talk to me at the end of the week. They're going to add an edge rusher probably at some point this week because they need to, because they only have 2 on the roster. And no, I don't count Bryce Huff as a part of this team because I still don't think he's going to have much of a role next year.
Why couldn't we send him to the Browns?
Because the salaries don't match. They're trying to save money, not kill. They're trying to save money, Tyler. Come on. But yeah, that's just it. Like, that's really all I have to talk about in terms of the Eagles. Is like people just freaked out. Like, we can't enjoy a damn Super Bowl in this city without being mad. Got a puffed chest and act all mad. You gotta be mad at everything. Go be mad at the Sixers.
I like what Zolt said, and that's where the Eagles are going to be. That's where the Lions are going to be. Mm-hmm. All those teams, they're going to be. It's a great reference, like the back half of an auction.
Yeah,
you know, all those things that people can't get because they already spent all their money.
Yeah,
definitely lots of value to be found there.
Exactly,
and that's the other part too. Like the Eagles, they don't need to go out. We don't need to go out and get these big name guys. Like the roster is still almost fleshed out. Like it's fine. We're missing some role players. Cool. Draft's coming up. See what happens the rest of the postseason, free agency.
Yeah, my dudes ain't sweating nothing yet either. You ain't heard hide nor hair out of the 49ers either. It's like, be
They're
patient.
on the right track. They got rid of Debo.
Be patient. It's you signed your quarterback. That's what you done did. You signed your quarterback. Everybody knew that that's what was going to happen. So, okay, we signed the quarterback. You turn around and trade off Debo. That was pretty much bound to happen. Everybody knew last year that it was supposed to happen. It's like, okay, fine. You're going to turn around and rebuild your offensive tools through the draft.
I think they're still fine.
Free agency. I think
if everyone gets healthy, they have so much depth. That kid, that rookie last year, Isaac Guerendo, he's going to have a big role to play. You're going to have CMC back. CMC, in the course of his career, this should be one of his good years.
And Pearsall proved that, he was no joke after being.
And
the guy got
sure got Elijah Mitchell just sitting around healing up. No, is he a free agent?
No,
he signed with Kansas City this afternoon.
Damn! I thought because he was hurt the whole year, y'all would have still had him for like another season.
No, it's. I think that that's like having J.K. Dobbins in Baltimore. They've seen that movie long enough. They were ready for that trilogy to be over with.
But they're set now with the young guys they got behind CMC. They proved themselves when they were all hurt.
Yep, 100%. Like I said, I think they could go. They could still end up going out and picking up somebody. They could pick up a decent, one of the veterans. They could pick. They could still.
They're going to take Kenny Gainwell from us.
No. I think the next thing on the list will probably be wide receiver, whether they do it through the draft like they did last year, or if they decide to snag, one of the guys being released later on. They'll wait. Yeah. They'll wait. They'll be. John Lynch is no fool. He'll be patient. Jed York's the idiot, and he'll be wanting I want, and John will go, no. What you want, what you got, you signed the kid, you spent the money. That's what you get. That's it. You don't get to make any more decisions. It's back to me now. You wanted to pay the kid, you got to pay the kid. You got to do your little powwow, press conference, everything else with the kid, and that's all you get to do. Now it's back to the football people. Let the football people do their job. Keep your damn hands off, Jerry wannabe. Just because his wife obtained ownership, he mysteriously gets ownership. Yeah. Whatever.
Yep. Legal system. Love it.
No, that was a marriage system. That was a marriage system. Oh, DeBartolo, if you would have just stayed off and not gotten on that plane, bad. Just would have stayed off that plane.
I heard the Niners are in talks to bring back Trent Baalke.
Are you serious?
No, I'm clearly just messing with George at this point.
You know, I'm in a good mood, and you just gotta keep wanting to just poke.
We have breaking wide receiver news in New England.
They're gonna pick up somebody.
They got Cooper Kupp.
Per Mike Garafolo, the Patriots are in agreement on a 2-year deal with wide receiver Mac Hollins.
Wow.
Who?
Wow.
He was Tyler and I know Mac Hollins.
Wow. Now, granted, with Buffalo, he's made himself a decent role player. Not saying anything crazy. But that's the big breaking news. Sam, we got to pick this up, man. That was not newsworthy.
No,
that was terrible.
Come
back on camera.
I was gonna say I would have pushed the toilet flush sounder right there. Good Lord, that was
man. If it ain't one of the relevant receivers left, Mac Hollins, what's he going to be? The 4th string?
5th?
That's the Patriots for you.
Special teamer.
Gosh. They know Tom Brady's not there still, right? He can't just make these guys into number 1 receivers magically.
Mac Hollins last year had 31 receptions for 378 yards and 5 touchdowns for the Bills. So.
He's a big target. Every team needs their target, man.
Please stop. Please. I am begging you, but please stop.
Trying to help the Patriots fans out.
You're not helping them at all, so please stop. Speaking of wide receivers, let's talk about a relevant wide receiver. Davante Adams going out to L.A. to join the Rams. That's a nice little... Sounds like it's going to be the last deal of his career, so...
That's a nice pickup for them because they're really going to need to rely on him for about 6 to 8 weeks out of the season when Puka's hurt.
Why do you always go to that?
You know what? You can nickname me Mr. Realistic, all right? Just call him how I feel.
Hey. Listen, leave the Puka alone. Puka will be fine.
I love Puka, unless if I'm playing against him in fantasy. Then I hate him.
Then you do something smart. You draft him.
Oh, I wish I could. Yeah. I wish I could.
If you can't beat him, draft him.
I wish I could have.
Yeah, you draft.
No, go ahead, George.
No, I'm saying, yeah, you 100% you draft him.
Noted.
But no, I personally just like this. I like the fit. I've always thought that I know Cooper Kupp it was Cooper Kupp. I know he was the Triple Crown winning wide receiver a few years ago. I feel like they've just needed another outside wide receiver, and Cooper Kupp was not that.
Yeah.
He's a slot wide receiver. And no offense to him. I'm not saying it's a bad trait to have, but
great slot receiver. But I do agree. So, I think it's a nice, especially with someone like Matthew Stafford who can sling the ball, like having 2 good outside threats is really helpful. Now, who do they try to fill that gap with in the slot? Is it going to be Tutu Atwell? I don't know.
I guess.
No idea. Maybe. Because when Cooper Kupp was out, I did see a lot of Tutu Atwell in the slot. He wasn't the most productive, but I mean, he's still young. Maybe, there's something to be had there as a 3rd receiving option. Probably 4th behind Higbee.
And a good decoy. I mean, and especially when you've got Adams and Puka both out there, and it's a decoy thing, and
Yeah, exactly.
Tutu's whoop, right there.
Mhm. Yeah, because he's quick.
Yeah,
He is. So
it's not a bad thing.
Rams are definitely a team to watch for sure.
They also made a smaller addition. I mean, it's a multi-year deal with defensive tackle Poona Ford, who was with the Chargers last year. It doesn't scream to you a name that you really know or talk about, but what did I say about the Rams front?
They couldn't stop the run.
Exactly. No, you're spot on. Jared Verse, great young edge rusher. Brandon Fisk, defensive tackle, pass rush specialist, 8 sacks in his rookie year. They've got Turner and Young on that line as well. They've got a great pass rushing front. They can't stop the run to save their lives. So hopefully Ford can help them with that a little bit.
Yeah. They probably need to try to make an addition at linebacker as well to shore up that run defense.
Yeah, Christian Roseboom is good, but they need more than that.
Yeah.
So we have to wait and see where that goes. But I like the Davante Adams move to the Rams. I think it's a good spot for him. It's a good spot for the Rams. 2 teams in the NFC that scare me that currently I got concerns about: the Rams and the Bucs.
I want to add a team in there. The Detroit Lions.
I don't think they need to be. I think you kind of just put them there. That's where I'm going with here. Like, you're talking. That's
you're
what
talking
I'm
about, like,
that's the obvious.
New teams that scare you. You were already kind of scared of the Lions.
Of course. Now, I will say I need to see how everything goes now without Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. But I will say this. For a team that really needs to fix some passing defensive problems, going and getting DJ Reed will help that.
Yeah.
And I mean, they'll have Brian Branch in that secondary. You'll have Aiden Hutchinson back healthy. It'll be interesting to see how they.
When are they looking at getting that other guy? Was it Aleem McNeil? When is he looking to return?
He should probably be ready for close to the beginning of the season because, I mean, any regular season injury, usually you're ready by training camp. If a team
didn't he hurt kind of late?
Yes, but that's even what I'm saying. Like, look, I watched Brandon Brooks tear his Achilles in Week 18. The dude came back for the freaking opener. Now, granted, he got hurt again, but
different monster.
And I think Zolt said that Aaron Glenn was already grooming. I think it was the linebackers coach or somebody, whoever the new DC is. He was already on the coaching staff. They were just already grooming him to take the place because they knew that they would lose Aaron eventually. So I don't think that they'll miss much.
And there's Zolt right there telling you McNeil should be good to go. Yeah, and now I'm interested to see now they did bring back Marcus Davenport as well, who, as you also know, got hurt early on last season. Is that going to be the edge rusher next to Hutchinson, or do they bring in somebody else? Because they did release Zadarius Smith. He got released the other day.
Yeah, that cup of coffee, Cleveland bounced. Cleveland just let him go for a reason.
Well, hey, Zadarius just needs to sign with the Bears to complete the NFC North tour. He's already been with the Lions. He's already been with the Vikings, and he's already been with the Packers. Just need to go over to the Bears now to complete the tour.
Never say never.
Never say never.
Anthony's got a good question. Is Higgins the only player that's been tagged?
No. The Chiefs tagged Trey Smith.
Okay.
And I forget who else. There have been other tags. I don't know who they were.
I was going to say, I had only heard those
two. There haven't been that many this year.
I haven't heard that many yet.
No, because teams are starting to slowly realize that the franchise tag is nothing more than a drama setter. That's all it is there.
Because if you're not willing to come to terms on a contract extension, people don't want to play under the tag.
So Zolt said that the Lions are looking to bring back Zadarius possibly at lower money. Okay, makes sense. Billy Cook's in the chat. What's up, Billy? Nice to see you in the chat, brother. He's enjoying the Panthers' moves, and he should. They needed a lot of help defensively. Yes, you lost Milton. You thought you had Milton Williams. You end up losing him to New England, but they've done a good job since. Getting Wharton from the Chiefs help. Bobby Brown coming over from the Rams will help your run defense.
Yep.
They've made a lot of really good moves today. And the thing is, like, they're getting young players. They're not just getting a bunch of old heads. They're finding young guys that they can build, hopefully, into some type of a core on defense, which outside of J.C. Horn over the past couple of years has not been good. And I'm not trying to be, it's just, it has not been good. Yep, Zolt just confirmed what we were saying. Trey Smith was the only other player that has tagged, and he signed.
Nice. Is this maybe the death of the franchise tag? How do we officially get rid of the franchise tag?
No,
you don't.
I don't like it.
That's the owner's bread and butter. That ain't going away.
They don't need to get rid of it.
NFL don't make it happen.
Because all the franchise tag does when they turn around and they don't sign it, all that does is, hey, you're sitting it out. It's like, hey, it doesn't matter. You ain't going anywhere. You want to sit at home? I could remember a couple of running backs who decided to sit at home and then try to come back. Didn't work out so well. Got a lot of players who they don't want to do the sit at home thing because they know if you aren't playing, you're gone. You're done.
Yeah, you're gonna be rusty.
Bye-bye. So you get tagged. It's like, this sucks. I mean, but you know what? At least you're playing. It's kind of like when you've got a job and it's like, hey, at least I'm working.
Carol said Exterminator here in the Scorpion season, so gotta go. Hold tight, everyone. Oh yeah, because he's out in Arizona.
Oh man,
he's Kyler Murray in Arizona. Oh no, it's
Kyler Murray isn't. Kyler Murray is actually in South Korea.
Oh wow.
So none of them are in. So no NFL players are currently in the country.
So no, he's a Korean American. So yeah, he went to visit South Korea. I was like, hey, okay, you're gonna, if you got paid, you want to take a vacation, you want to go someplace that you've never been, and you're getting paid that kind of money. It's like you said earlier. It's like, you got these guys all down in the Caribbean and everything else. It's like, heck yeah. Why not enjoy it? Why not be able to say, hey, I did it, and I did it while I was able to.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
It. Why not? I mean, shoot, yeah, if I had the opportunity, heck yeah, I'd be taking a little boat trip out to Greece. I would love to go see my other half of my family. I'd love to turn around and do that trip and then go over to Italy and check out Italy for a while. Heck yeah, I would definitely and I get a month and I don't have to report or anything else for a month. Bye-bye. Deuces. See ya. I'm gone. I'll let my agent play with whatever I got to deal with. As long as it isn't anything super major. Hell yeah. I'm out. See ya.
So Anthony's surprised that the Ravens didn't make any moves. But that's kind of like what we were saying earlier. Like those upper echelon teams in the league, they're not going to be active during the start of free agency.
Will be a backup for a new team. Hurry up! Make Trey Lance on a spot. Yeah, that I would have loved that for Miami. Put Trey Lance out there. That'd have been better. I need to get rid of those graded PSA 10 cards.
And Billy was saying that he's really happy with the Bobby Brown addition because they finally have a nose tackle. Yeah, you got to stop the run in this league. Yep. With all the running back deals you saw last year and how much it affected the league, stopping the run's going to be very important soon.
Yep.
So for all my Eagle fans that are going to get pissed off to when Jordan Davis gets extended, shut him out. And then Anthony said, Bills did the Eagles thing with money. They signed a lot of people, and they still have money. Yeah, and they kept their own players. They extended all their young talent, and this is what you're supposed to do. Speaking of talent, we have a running back signing, actually. Former Broncos running back Javonte Williams is intending to sign a 1-year, $3.5 million deal with the Cowboys. Somebody's
career just got a boost.
I guess they're I guess they're going to pair him with Rico and see how that goes.
That's not bad.
It's not, honestly, and I hate that. I despise
Williams
the Cowboys.
wasn't a good fit for Peyton's system.
No.
It's the
No.
wrong running back, you can't do that.
Yeah,
Isn't Javonte Williams more like a downhill runner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. And that's kind of what the Cowboys have been looking for. They wanted to find someone like that to pair with Dowdle. So, look.
Yep. Better than Zeke.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's like, yeah, exactly. Look, the Cowboys don't make this as hard as it looks. They make it look harder than everything looks. It's ridiculous. That's a really smart signing. It's a 1-year deal. You get a guy to rotate with Rico. And look, now you may have a decent run game if your offensive line can block next year.
Right. Zolt's right. He knows where
he does. He knows where he's going to get carried. So,
yep. 100%.
Zolt also said Trey Lance is going to be backup bagger at Kroger.
Oh my God. And he's like, "What's the backup bagger?" Oh my God. This has been a great show. This has been one of the best shows ever. But Tyler, like you said, you're talking about the Ravens. Okay, the Chiefs too. Okay, they added a left tackle today. Well, did you watch the Super Bowl? I hope you did.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. The upper echelon teams don't do anything. The Ravens don't need to do much. The Eagles, they're going to need to fill some holes, yes, but they're minor. You have all your young talent in place next year. Your Super Bowl, you won the freaking Super Bowl. This comes with the territory. You lose coordinators, you lose players. So now you just wait. You wait and see what happens. They're going to hit Wave 2, which is probably going to, at this point, Wave 2 is probably going to be by tomorrow night because Wave 1's been a freaking monster show.
Yep.
Yeah, that Najee Harris, another one. I don't know where he's fitting. He ain't going back to Pittsburgh. It looks like.
No, he's just another one.
That's hard for him to find a good fit.
Right, well, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for him to find a spot. Period, because he's not that good. And when you're not that good and you're a running back, it's like, hey, just ask Eckler. He thought he was the bee's knees, and he barely got picked up to be extras on 2 teams already. So guess what? Harris, you're going to be lucky to catch on with anybody. And then even if he does, hey, listen, in preseason, they can still cut your butt.
Yep. Ironically, I could see Harris going to the Chargers. Harris? Not as a starter per se, but maybe if they try to build a committee. If there's anyone that could save Harris in a run scheme, it would be Harbaugh.
No, there's only 2 people that could save Harris in a run scheme: Harbaugh or Stoutland. But he ain't coming here.
Yeah,
unless he wants to be a backup.
He would come here to be a backup. But honestly, I don't. His yard averages aren't good. They're not.
I can see Gus Edwards coming here. That seems
he's another one, man. Honestly, I look at Gus Edwards as a downgrade from Gainwell.
Yeah.
Ooh, you got your standards are way too high.
But here, the thing you got to think about: whoever backs up Saquon has a huge role because Saquon's not always on the field.
Okay,
he gets a lot of plays off. So Kenny Gainwell had a huge role on the team last year. We can't just throw some bum out there behind him. We need someone who can actually run the football and probably catch the football as well to keep the offense moving. Or we're going to see a lot of 3 and outs.
Well, then, if you're looking for a pass catcher, you better stop talking about Kenny Gainwell then.
He's not the best, but
he's not a pass. No, he's not the best because he's not one. He is not a pass catcher.
You can probably grab somebody out of the draft.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we still got Shipley too. See what Shipley can do.
How about a big old boy from AZ State?
You think he's gonna fall down to 32?
That would be interesting, wouldn't it, Sam?
They got him project Tyler. I hate to tell you this. they've got Scatabo ranked as like a 4th round pick, dude. I don't know. That's where they
Oh,
got
so you're
him.
telling me we're gonna get him then?
Oh, dude.
Oh my.
Don't let that happen.
Oh my God! You guys let
I'll
that
be
happen.
honest.
Jesus Christopher.
Bold
I would have to sit here and even go, what?
You
Wait a
guys
minute.
know.
Who let
you guys-
that happen?
Yeah,
Holy
you guys know
cow.
how much I love Ashton Genty. I think Cam Scatabo might be just as good as an NFL running back as him.
Well,
And the kid puts up what he backs up his mouth.
He does.
He totally can back
Puts
it up.
in the work.
Real quickly, what do you think about Anthony's comment there saying Harris would be a good backup to Henry? That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. They're built similar. Not the same running back, obviously, but like built similar.
Real quick, Anthony, I agree. Both Ohio State running backs, too, are both studs. This is a very good year to just not look. I'm not saying that 26 is going to fall off the cliff. I'm not saying that, but it's good to have something behind the guy. That's all I'm saying. It's good. Yeah, exactly. It's good to have depth everywhere.
Yeah, because
and right now,
Saquon's current contract is going to put him toward the end of his prime years.
Yeah,
he's probably going to retire an Eagle.
I can see it.
How many running backs play after age 31, 32? Not many.
Not many.
Giants GM gets fired after the draft when he screws up again, right?
I'm surprised he's gotten this far.
I was just going to say, I'm surprised.
I don't know how he's made it this far.
I'm so surprised.
He literally made
especially when you're on Hard Knocks and you get told by your kid who you should be drafting. And
Jaden Daniels.
Oops.
I can't draft Jaden Daniels, son. I only get one shot at this job. Apparently, you get 2 shots because you screwed it and you're still there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me hooked.
I'm telling you, being on Hard Knocks is the kiss of death.
It is. It's almost as bad as the Madden cover. Oh, which Anthony just talked about.
Wow. Anthony with the timing. Bravo. Anthony with the timing.
Now that's
a good question. Do we consider Josh Allen beating the Madden curse?
Yes, because he didn't get injured.
Yep, he didn't get injured.
He did not get injured.
He won MVP.
Didn't win the Super Bowl.
Didn't
get injured. Won the MVP. I'd say that's a yes.
Yeah.
I'd still say that was a yes.
I think he beat it.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, that 32 overall pick is going to be interesting this year.
All right. So, real quickly, Elliot Shore Park tweets out the Eagles are very confident currently in Nakobe Dean's recovery from injury, and they are also very confident in the development of Jeremiah Trotter. So, just in case anybody would like to know anything about that.
Quick thoughts for you, Sam, about the draft.
Okay.
What if a team calls you up? They got like an early, maybe slightly second round pick. They want to move up to 32, and then they throw in like a 4th or 5th with it. You taking it?
No, I'm no longer trading 32 because with the way the salary cap continues to rise, your young player Quinyon, his deal one day is going to be massive. Jalen Carter. Having those guys with that 5th-year option is so crucial. I'm declining it. If they and as of right now, we literally need an edge rusher, and there are going to be so many there at 32. I'm taking the best player available, and I'm riding it out.
That's fair.
I understood the last time it was what it was, but and granted, it worked. You got Dallas Goedert out of the deal, which we don't even know his future. According to Jeff Mosher, he has requested. They have given him permission to seek a trade. We have actually, I believe, 98% confident we have seen the last of Dallas Goedert.
Man.
And it sucks, but a 30-year-old tight end with injury history wanting a new contract doesn't really sit well with some people.
Nope.
And once again, loaded tight end draft class.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, well, they can't go with Calcaterra and a rookie. Okay, there's a couple draft day trades I could see. You could call the Falcons on Kyle Pitts. You could call, maybe a change of scenery helps the kid. You could go see what the Raiders want for mayor, the kid from Notre Dame they took a couple years ago, till Brock Bowers came along.
The shinier toy.
I am not going to judge this roster till the final cuts of training camp. Howie Roseman does this every year. And the guy's won a couple Super Bowls, so I'm going to let him work his magic. I don't need a flash in a pan right now, okay? All your best, your big-time talent's still here.
And it's day one.
Yep.
No, George, remember, according to Eagle fans, the season starts tomorrow. Not Tyler. Tyler, another thing I was trying to say was measured at you. You're smart. You know this stuff. But you would think that we're going through the Brian Dawkins, Reggie White stuff again with some of these fans. I'm sorry. Am I going to pay Milton Williams so I can potentially one day lose Jalen Carter? Are you out of your freaking mind? Do you realize there are two things in Philadelphia that is the easiest thing of your life? If you are a running back because of this offensive line, and if you are a defensive lineman playing next to Jalen Carter. Because I'm sorry, I am not trying to knock him at all. You don't think Jalen Carter got Milton Williams paid?
Oh, he did. It's a lot easier when you got Jalen Carter getting double and triple teamed. It's a lot easier to get after the quarterback, especially if Sweat got paid because of him.
And I'm not taking anything away from Milton Williams. He's a great player. He earned that contract. Him and Josh Sweat earned their money. But once again, you're playing next to Jalen Carter. And I'm sorry, you still have Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt on the edge. Yes, you need to add two edge rushers. One now, one in the draft. There's still some decent edge rushers available. But once again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah. Like I said, oh, yeah, the Titans won today. Well, yeah, the Titans have Will Levis at quarterback. They have to spend money. The Patriots haven't been relevant since 12 left. They have to spend money. That's what bad teams do. The only team that is justified to have spent their money today and not get that loser tag from me is the Commanders, and that's because Jaden Daniels is a stud, and they need to take advantage of his rookie deal. That's what you need to do, just like the Eagles did with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. But there are some teams that are just bad that spend money. And guess what? With the Patriots, guarantee you 2 out of those 3 guys will be released in 2 years anyway.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I like what they've done because of who the coach is. Vrabel's not going to go in there and be winning a bunch of 41-33 games. Yes, I picked that score for a reason. But they're not going to try to win by dropping 50 on you every night. Vrabel's a defensive-minded coach. He just lets his offensive coordinator do his job, kind of like Campbell with Ben Johnson. But they got a great young corner in Christian Gonzalez, right? You put Carlton Davis on the other side of him, that's a pretty good duo there.
Yep.
You needed another edge rusher. You got Harold Landry, who is familiar with Vrabel from his days in Tennessee, and hopefully, if Christian Barmore's health allows him to return to the field on a consistent basis, him and Milton Williams, that's a solid front. And they got the linebacker who had 160 tackles last year from the Raiders. So they literally improved every level of their defense today. Good power to them. But let's not act like they haven't been a damn clown show since Brady left.
Mm-hmm.
That's what bad teams do. They spend the money. Eagles did it once, too, after the Chip Kelly era ended. You remember that first day of free agency? Nigel Bradham, Rodney McLeod, Brandon Brooks. Now, granted, it ended up winning you a Super Bowl the next year, but not. But guess what? After that first day of free agency, they traded Sam Bradford for that first round pick, and they had a rookie Carson Wentz. Well, the Eagles went 7-9. You can win day one of free agency by signing one player. I don't care. You can win free agency. I guarantee you, none of the teams that spent all that money today will be in the Super Bowl next year. Guaranteed. That's how I look at things. Oh, man, we got more breaking news.
Oh, no.
Dre Greenlaw to the Broncos.
Wow.
So basically, if you are an ex-49er, Denver's your spot.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's interesting.
Upset, George, or did
Well,
you expect
I
it?
mean the what was it, the UCL tear in the Super Bowl kind of wasn't comfy, you know.
Yeah.
It was like once that happens to a guy, it's kind of like, well, you got that blown out tire. It's gonna be,
Mhm.
that tire's weak from that day forward. So not really, um, not really surprised.
Ooh, I can tell you right now, George, you'll feel better after this. Greenlaw is expected to sign a 3-year, $35 million deal with the Broncos.
Wow.
Like coming off that a major Achilles injury, that's if he can get back to half of what he was before that injury, great deal for the Broncos. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but
But if not,
it's a risk.
yeah,
How much is
I've
guaranteed?
only seen
that's a lot.
that. I don't have confirmation on. I know it's 35 million. I don't know the guaranteed dollars, but I've only seen one player tear his Achilles in my lifetime and come back almost the same player, and that was Brandon Brooks. But Brandon Brooks never stayed healthy again and had to retire because of it. He
Right.
never could stay healthy. Then he had the shoulder injury. And he just can never stay healthy after that. Tyler, didn't he re-tear it at one point?
I think so.
I swore he re-tore it after the 1 year. But yeah, so the Niners are going out to Mile High. First Hufanga, now Dre Greenlaw. So
Well,
Fred Warner right now is probably thinking, where are all my friends?
Where's everybody?
I mean, it's like the Fresh Prince episode when Will's sitting in the middle of the mansion when it's all empty. That's Fred Warner right now. I feel like the Niners are I don't think the Niners are rebuilding. I think they're trying to do like a big time reset,
Yeah.
which is
They're like,
okay.
well,
Trying to retool.
because outside of Ayuk, I mean, if they didn't drop, half of a Brinks truck in his lap, he'd have been gone first.
Fair enough.
He would have been gone first and let somebody else deal with the diva. I mean, that's kind of the problem. But like I said, right now, it's kind of like, Bill Belichick knows when to get people out, and Shanahan kind of knows his thing too.
Yeah. And
He's
that's
been around a long time.
And that's kind of like Howie Roseman.
I'm concerned because, like you said, with Denver, you've got a couple people, it's a risk. I mean, yeah, and Sean Payton's no dummy either. It's just like, hey, if it works for a year or two, it works, no problem. We turn around and build a little depth, but at least we've got something to, help fill some voids, because Denver's defense wasn't squat last year.
Yeah.
No, it's a young defense. They've got young pass rushers who they like. They do have Surtain, but they also did lose Cody Barton to Tennessee this afternoon. So Greenlaw essentially just replaces Barton. Not sure. So that's how they're looking at it. But again, like I said, sometimes good organizations know when it's time. Like the Eagles, I wouldn't say they really give up on veterans at all. They kept Fletcher Cox around and Jason Kelsey and Darius Slay. But then they know. It's not that they know when it's time to move on. What's that?
They knew when to get rid of Miles Sanders.
Yes, they did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because they know how good they valued the 5 guys in front of him instead of him. And look at DeAndre Swift, came in and did the same thing that Miles did. And then you saw what happens when you add Saquon Barkley to that. But it's also just how good they are at knowing how to replace them. Darius Slay, you get him a year early to be mentored by Darius Slay, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter. Brandon Graham, Nolan Smith. The Eagles they're always a step ahead of everybody else, essentially. Real quickly, Anthony's got a slew of comments here. So he said, I always said Kupp or Kyle Pitts would be amazing for the Chiefs. No, Anthony. No, they would not be. Mm-hmm. Then he said, I'm scared if Jaden Daniels keeps getting better and better, we won't be able to afford him. Anthony, there will be a day where if you don't pay Jaden Daniels, then you better fire about your entire organization.
That day should never come. because trust me, they know
Right.
when that year is when he needs his extension. They're going to plan for that for years.
Anthony.
Let me.
I got Anthony. Really, dude. Seriously, listen. In the whole thing of where they have to start cutting in preseason from 99 guys, that dude won't even make that week. He'll be cut before then.
Real quickly, Anthony said, "Oh my God, Michael Gallup might be making a comeback. He's visiting Washington tomorrow." Oh, good Lord! And then our good friend Bill Gould here saying, "I'm stepping in for 10 seconds to say if the Steelers pick up Rodgers, I'm going to lose my mind." Actually, Bill, you picked a good time to jump in here because we have some Steelers news.
Oh, no.
And actually, George and Tyler, you talked about this already. The Chargers are currently pursuing Steelers free agent running back Najee Harris, and the hope is to close a deal. The deal is not done yet, but potentially, and if all goes well, a big addition to one of the NFL's best rushing attacks. You guys must be seeing into the future.
Hey, I'm looking at it. Najee Harris is not a good running back.
Nope.
Does he have some intangibles? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big running back. He's powerful.
Yeah.
He needs someone to save him. I only see, like you said, Harbaugh or Stoutland. Maybe Shanahan, but they're not picking him up.
Wait, Are we saying both Harbaughs or just one of them?
Honestly, I think both Harbaughs.
Both of them. Yeah.
Take your pick, honestly. I think they could both save him.
Yep.
Okay.
Dude just can't find a hole, man.
Yeah.
Najee Harris potentially to the Chargers. That's interesting. We've broken a lot of news tonight. There's been a lot of stuff going around tonight.
I was gonna say,
it's almost like
I still have a few more hours to go myself.
Oh, there'll be more news for you, George. You don't worry.
I know there will be. It's gonna be a long night. Speaking of which, I am gonna turn around and sign off here, fellas, because I do need to turn around and say hello to my missus, who has been in the living room all this time. So
no worries, George.
I am going to turn around and take a little break from sitting in the chair, and I'm going to go turn around and hang out with her for a bit before I have to, absorb more of the day one 3-ring circus. As we know, the first ring is just starting to be built.
Yeah, I will say this first ring ain't done yet.
No, don't worry. Yeah, like I said, the first ring is just being built, and it's by a whole bunch of clowns at the moment. So,
oh man! All right, Georgie. Well, hey, thanks for joining us.
See you, Georgie.
See you later, Georgie.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Anytime. Of course, anybody who doesn't know, you can always catch George and his boys over at the Dueling Aces. They are live every Monday night, usually following 609 Sports Talk. So, once again, always fun having George on. So, for all of our Spotify fans, if you don't know, go check out our friends at the Dueling Aces every Monday. They're on Facebook and YouTube, just like us. Real quickly, Anthony said, first of all, Harris not a free agent, right? Yes, he is, Anthony. They declined his 5th-year option. Bill Gould said, take him like they took Anakin, and he doesn't want Harris. He said, happy wife, happy life. Miserable wife, miserable life.
Now you saw what Zolt said, right?
Zolt says, make sure to tell the Mrs. Zolt anything. Oh, my goodness. We have had a very, very entertaining episode tonight. We've had a lot go down just being on this episode. So Tyler, do you have any words, anything else free agent wise you want to talk about?
I don't know. Did we cover everything?
I think we basically did. I don't know. I really don't. We talked about Davante Adams a little bit. I don't know where else is there to go with this. There's so much.
I mean, let's see. I don't know. I mean,
we talked about.
We got to talk about the couple of moves that the Eagles made.
I mean, yeah, they re-signed Zach Bond. I mean, we all saw that coming.
Yep.
I'm happy they did it. Zolt said, Lord knows I'm entertained. Zolt's not going to let any of them live down the Kenny Pickett tree.
Nope.
Oh, and real quickly, by the way, the Ravens did make a move. They re-signed Ronnie Stanley.
Okay. That's a good move.
No good team ever lets their left tackle hit free agency.
No. That's bad for business.
Exactly. But, no, look, going into the offseason, we knew Zach Bond was going to be the Eagles' priority. They said it. It was being reported for weeks.
Yep.
And they did. I mean, I got it right here. 3 years, $51 million, $34 million guaranteed. Look, it's a good deal. The guy literally had a sensational year. Anthony said the Colts just added a wide receiver that I've never heard of. Ashton Doolin? I don't know who that is. The Colts, on the other hand, outside of their lack of wide receivers, I like what they've done with their secondary. Cam Bynum, getting Ward from the Niners. Colts, they've had some secondary help today. But now, Tyler, what do you got to say about the Zach Bond deal?
I love it. That was you asked me if there's only one person you can bring back. Who was it? It was Zach Bond. The answer never changed.
Nope.
King Bond.
So that is again why I keep asking, why are Eagle fans upset? We knew this was coming. You had one choice. Say you got the hypothetical gun to your head. Who are you re-signing? Excuse me, Bond, Becton, Williams, or Sweat. And I believe like 80% of people said Bond. And Becton could still come back. It sounds like Mekhi Becton doesn't want to leave.
I don't think he wants to leave either.
Because of the situation that this team gave him, why would you want to leave?
Yeah. Like, dude was ready to retire.
Yeah. So I still think, look, the longer he's out there, the more his price tag will most likely come down.
Yeah.
And again, money does not seem to be his biggest thing. He wants to be an Eagle. The Eagles basically saved and revived his entire career. And if for some reason they don't want to bring him back on a multi-year deal, I could see them bringing in another guard to compete with Steen on a cheaper deal. Again, the Eagles are playing chess while these teams are playing checkers. We've known this from the start. But why don't we also talk about what happened with Saquon Barkley?
He got that extension. They took him to the bank, gave him the blank contract, and said, here, what do you want?
Real quickly, Anthony, Slay to Pittsburgh is not official or anything relevantly close. He is still under contract with the Eagles till Wednesday, and now there's still a chance that he may end up coming back to Philly. We don't know yet. Which, I'm just going to say this. If I gave up Isaiah Rodgers for the last year of Darius Slay, I will be upset.
That will make me very upset.
I would rather go. Now, if you want to go sign another younger guy to a one-year prove-it deal, like a name that I like a lot is Christian Fulton, who was with the Chargers last year, I will trust anywhere on that defensive coaching staff. Look what Christian Parker did with all these young DBs. Like, yeah. I'm cool. I'm cool with whoever they put out opposite of Quinyon. You know why? Because I got Quinyon.
Exactly.
But if I'm telling you now, if I lost Isaiah Rodgers and I'm going to walk back into the season with Darius Slay and, oh, dear help me, Avonte Maddox, I swear I'm jumping off a cliff. I'm jumping off a cliff. Where's the wall? Jumping off. Avonte Maddox does not get to re-sign because he made one play in the Super Bowl.
Huh.
But no, back to Saquon. Look, highest paid running back in NFL history. Takes him to his age 31 season. Best rushing season in not only Eagles history, but easily at one of the best in NFL history.
Yep.
Do I know what he's going to be in his age 31 season? No. Do I care? Also no. If there is a situation that I can have with a running back that I trust until he's 31, it's the Eagles.
Exactly. because he's not going to be fighting for his life like in New York.
Anthony, it was reported, but it's not accurate. He's in talks with the Steelers, but nothing can be stopped because he's not a Steeler yet.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Najee Harris with the Chargers. They're in talks. The talks are ongoing.
No, because Slay is a post June 1st release.
No,
it's not. He's not just an outright free agent. Post June 1st releases are different. Don't ask me how, because I'm not going to try to sit here and research and try to figure it out.
How, Sam? How is it different?
Well, I told you not to ask me. You're going to get no answer. But anyway, Tyler, anything else you want to talk about? Any final thoughts? Unless you have anything else you want to talk about, I think we basically covered everything.
Today's been a wild day. Like always.
And this is just we may
crazy.
May need a second episode.
There's going to be plenty of short videos coming out.
My God, I'm going to be I have short content for till the end of the next month.
Until the draft.
I always agree the NFL is a 24/7 product. There's never nothing to talk about.
Yeah. Because the season ends, and then you get into the territory where, teams are talking about trades. They're, restructuring contracts, extending guys. Then free agency starts. Then the draft. Then training camp. Well, OTAs, then training camp.
Anthony, I'm talking football. I don't know who is this Embiid you speak of?
Who is this Embiid?
I guess we haven't really talked about the quarterback stuff a lot, like with Darnold and Geno.
Yeah, they both got paid.
But Geno hasn't gotten paid yet. He got traded.
Oh, but they are in talks on reworking a deal.
Well, yeah, because he apparently rejected the 3 years, $100 million that Darnold took.
Yeah.
So, I like what the Raiders are doing. Geno, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, maybe Ashton Genty goes there in the draft. Who knows?
Ooh. I mean, that is a missing piece there, running back.
You knew the Raiders were going to go after something now because of Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's not young. Like, we don't know how long Pete Carroll's going to be coaching the Raiders. So
Pete Carroll's not here to rebuild.
Exactly. He's 72 years old.
Yeah, it was going to be a veteran quarterback all along.
Yeah, so I like it.
Now, where does this land Russell Wilson?
I
haven't heard his name much.
He may be a giant, bro.
Maybe.
I mean, it keeps sounding like Rodgers is destined for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, they may not take Carter number one, the Titans. It still could be Cam Ward. We don't know. Told that Pete Carroll may not live through a rebuild. Well, Pete's got to deal with Chip Kelly. Let's see if he can live through that.
Yikes.
But no, I like what the Raiders are doing. I think Geno is definitely the veteran quarterback they need. I like I said, Brock Bowers. Couldn't ask for a better safety blanket for Geno. I mean, look at Jacoby Myers. You had a career year with no quarterback. So.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of Seattle, they are clearly just hitting the reset button. DK, gone, off to Pittsburgh. Love that for the Steelers if they get a quarterback.
Yeah.
Lockett, gone. Seahawks, they're hitting the reset, and it starts with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but I mean, is it really a reset? Like a full-on reset? Smith-Njigba, I don't think he's at number one status yet, but I don't think he's far off. I feel like if they can get another good receiver in next to him, I think the offense can still thrive and move the ball. They need the running backs healthier. It's a shambles every year.
Smith-Njigba last year, Tyler, had 100 catches for 1,130 yards.
So he might already be at that territory ready to be number one.
But again, like you said, what's behind now? What's next to him?
Yeah, there's nothing next to him. That's the problem. But like, I don't think Seattle's far off. Yes, do I think they're going to have a little bit of a down year transitioning? I think so, especially with trading away DK. But I think they could do something next year.
They got Zach Charbonnet at running back. He was solid in his role, so he'll probably get a bigger role next year.
Isn't he kind of getting? I feel like I've heard his name for years in the league. How old is he?
Charbonnet's 24. He was just drafted last 2023.
No way, dude. Do you have a brother with the same last name?
Sure, yeah, sure he does. We'll go with that.
I swear I've been hearing his name for like the last 5 years.
I just hope Sam Darnold. Look, I love Sam Darnold. The story's nice. I just hope he didn't misplay his hand here, because I'm not trying. I like McDonald as a coach. I don't see a Kevin O'Connell in Seattle.
Nope. I don't see the receiving core that he had in Seattle.
No.
I don't see the running back room that they had in Seattle.
No. And I mean, like, Charbonnet and if Walker could ever stay healthy, but that's a pipe dream at this point. But I don't know. I like the deal. I like Seattle's clearly realizing that they haven't been good enough to be true contenders, and they're trying to fix those things. But we have to wait and see.
Giving a guy that much money for a 1-year performance, that's like the Giants paying Daniel Jones for Saquon Barkley's hard work to get them to the playoffs. Yeah. So Darnold's not going to stink. They definitely need to try to get another. They need another weapon.
I agree. Real quickly, Zolt said Wilson might just re-sign. I've been hearing that the Rodgers Steelers thing all day, and it still hasn't materialized. That's because Zolt, they can't reach him. His phone's off. He's in Tibet on a dark retreat. Anthony said, I'm just waiting to see who overpaid for Rodgers if he gets a big deal or got Kirk Cousins' agent. Oh, dear God. And then Zolt also said Darnold just went to a team with worse talent and a worse O-line, and his problem is being pressured. Oh, yeah, there's no disagreement here.
I don't see any lies.
But, yeah. And we're going to have to see how this all plays out, see what Seattle does for the rest of the offseason to build around Darnold. We're going to have to wait and see what the Eagles do for the rest of the offseason. A lot of stuff still to be done.
Yep.
But in other words, Tyler, do you have anything else you want to add on for the people, or I got nothing?
That's about all I got.
All righty then. Well, everyone, thank you all so much for joining us on the Free Agent Frenzy episode of 609 Sports Talk. NFL offseason is going to dominate these airways for weeks to come, so be prepared. This is just day one. Still have tomorrow, still have the rest of the week in offseason, but a lot more is going to happen throughout the next couple days. Buckle up. It's going to be fun, and we'll be here to talk about more of it next week. So we hope you all enjoyed tonight's episode. I want to thank Georgie for coming on with us throughout most of the show. Like I said, go catch our friends over at the Dueling Aces live every Monday night. They're going to be talking with you guys about probably most of this stuff as well. So we hope you all have a great rest of your week, and we will see you guys next Monday for more frantic NFL free agent talk. Have a safe week, everybody, and we'll see you next time. For Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.